I keep making the mistake of opening up my professional page and scrolling through it, where I should just only like open it up just to like post something real quick. Because I started to become more active on there because I don't have any other social media. My Instagram got spiked, kept getting flagged, and this time they just decided like, oh, you don't have one anymore. And the reason why I just never fought it, because every time they flag me, I just dispute it, and I usually win. And this situation was different because when I disputed disputed it this time, they turned around and asked me for like personal information. Like they were like, "Oh, if you want your account back, go ahead and add your number." I'm like, I'm not giving no more information than I need to, because usually when I make an account, I don't attach my phone number or anything. It's just usually like an email, because it's just fucking, they're going through everything, Google your searches and all that. They're already going through that shit, so that's not a big deal. But going through my phone, I couldn't let that happen. But I keep making this mistake of opening up my professional page and getting bored and scrolling through it like I would on my personal page. And I keep seeing these videos where like these guys are like literally like going up to women with their camera out and like asking them like weird ass questions, or just like, I guess, spitting game. That's what they will call doing that, I guess. Like these guys are being extremely fucking awkward and rude as fuck, and that's not the crazy part about it. Like the crazy part about it is like the comment section. And kind of like this kind of like bleeds into what I was talking about with the Sigma alpha male shit on the internet. Like I just like from a long time and just seeing those type of videos more often, and then looking into the comments, I just come into terms, and I truly believe like some of these guys just like seeing women harassed and hurt. Like they get a kick out of that, and I just feel like that's what the whole like Sigma Alpha Delta whatever the fuck like thing is. Like it's just to fucking just to hate women, like in any type of category or any type of way. Because like I go to these, I like, you see the video, the woman is probably like under distress because like this fucking guy is like following her, and everybody knows like if somebody got their cell phone out, they're about to do some dumb shit. They're about to say some dumb shit, so you're already getting ready for it. So that's what, not even just with women. Like if you're coming up to me with a camera and like you're in my face and you try to have this conversation, and I see that your camera's recording, like dude, like I'm off the top. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that's weird. If you want something to say it to me. I don't know who the fuck you are. Like you, cause like I just like for two reasons. For one, that's rude as fuck. Like just don't be recording me, because now you have my whole fucking face, my whole fucking profile, and everything on your phone. And then like I kind of like fucking like they should make a thing towards that, because like a lot of times like there would be like women unsuspectedly like being recorded and getting put on the internet as some fucking fat booty meme. And like where do we like draw the line in privacy? Is like we fight so hard to have fucking privacy, and then now we're in a world where people just think they could do this. But I digress. So my whole point with the Sigma Alpha male shit, I go like, you see the video, the woman's like under distress, she doesn't want to fucking deal with this fucking idiot waving a camera in her face. And then you go to the comment section, and in the comment section you got guys that are like, oh, she's being a bitch, or that's why you got to avoid women like that. They don't know when somebody's being nice to them, and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, like she's getting fucking damn near harassed with the fucking camera, and you're empathizing with the fucking creeper with the fucking camera. Like that shit is so unreal. And then like there was this one video that kept coming up. I think it happened like a year ago or almost a year ago. Um, I forget the dude's name, but there was this guy on YouTube. Lo and behold, another creeper on YouTube, where he was just going around, just like basically like asking women to sleep with him, but like doing it on camera. And then like if they don't, he starts like just being like all belligerent and fucking stupid. And they took a clip from one of his videos where it's just the back half of the video, where like the woman there, he like all right, so the backstory in this video, from what I gathered, is that it's like 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. The dude is being a total fucking creeper. He's like walking around the fucking parking lot, just every girl he fucking sees that goes into the parking lot. It's like those ones that are outside. Well, of course the parking lot's outside, but it's the one where like it's attached to the building. The parking structure is like a couple of floors and it has an elevator, so it's a parking structure. He's like just in general like a fucking guy just waiting to fucking flirt with like drunk women coming out of a club or coming out of a fucking casino in a parking structure. For one, that's already painting yourself a fucking perfect picture of yourself being a fucking weirdo at that fucking point. And then you're following them, harassing with the fucking camera. So that's the backstory to that. But the clip that they keep showing on the internet is just him pepper spraying, like talking shit to a girl that's like telling him to like the fuck off, and then like he pepper sprays her and then runs away. Like I think he's being convicted of that shit, and I'm fucking glad he is. But it's just, but like I went going to the comments, and then like everybody was like, oh, like it's good to see like self defense, and then this other guy was like, oh, he should have sprayed the other girl that was trying to run up and hit him and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you guys don't even know the background of the story, or you do, and you just don't give a fuck. And it's just so fucking weird. Like, how do you how do you see like a grown man pepper spray a girl and just feel like that's justified? Like it's more on him because he's the one that actually fucking did it. But it's just like the mentality, like, do we really just fucking just like hate women? Because even like with this Sigma alpha male shit that's fucking going around the internet that people keep tuning into, it's basically like make women like you rather you're disrespectful or whatever the case is. And that's like the most fucked up mentality to have, because like that's exactly why you don't have a fucking girlfriend. That's exactly why you're looking on these fucking forums and all these fucking Sigma Alpha Male Reddit fucking forums and all these fucking videos to like, I guess like, I don't know, figure it out, when the fucking best thing to do is just not be a fucking weirdo or a fucking creep or a total fucking dick about it. And then like the trippiest part about this mentality is like a lot of the times that people don't fucking realize like that it's the same mentality as like those extremists, those feminist extremists, like the feminists who are like, oh, we don't need men and blah blah blah, like we could literally kill them off and we'll be fine. And that's it's the same fucking tone but for women. And it's just like you don't realize like when you put up so much hate onto women as a dude, like you sound gay as fuck. Like it just sounds really fucking like it just sounds like you were just down on your luck with women and you never got a chance, and then you're starting to like appeal to this idea of being a gay person and you fucking like it, and then now you're like trying to get like everybody on your fucking team to hate women all the time and blah blah blah. And if a guy doesn't hate a woman like you do, he's a fucking beta, he's a fucking this and blah blah blah. And it's just like when it comes to like shit like that, like it's just like what exactly is a fucking beta and alpha? Because like everybody, because like even before the internet, I've always heard, this is what it took to be a man. This is what it took to be a man. This is what it takes to be a man. This is what it took to be a man or become a man, blah, blah, blah. Whether you go to the army or fucking slave away in a fucking factory and never get to fucking see your kids grow up because you want to fucking have this lifestyle or blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many fucking different avenues that we could fucking speak on that makes a man. But I always fucking felt like at the end of the day, not listening to what other motherfuckers say made you a fucking man. Like, it just made you more of who you are. And then like that's what I feel like is the ultimate definition of a man, not trying to like keep this fucking image of what a man is, because now everybody's obsessed, especially like on social media, everybody's obsessed with being a Viking warlord, fucking Batman with this fucking dark fucking backstory, and it's like, dude, your life isn't like, it's not that fucking. It basically like it could be fucking better, but you're trying to uphold this image, and it's not fucking working out. So it's just like more or less like you gotta like kind of like when it comes to shit like that, I feel like like I was saying, like the most beautiful thing is like the individual's mind, and as long as you have that, like I don't think anybody could like dispute that. Like for instance, like if somebody says like even though I don't, this is not my idea of living, but let's say like you get with the woman, she's making a lot more, and her fucking work schedule allows her to make the amount of money that she makes, and then she has a work life balance where she could be home, and you really don't have to, and then the roles are switched. I wouldn't even call them roles. Like you guys just decide to take the role of the woman working, and you want her to stay home with your kids. Like that's your fucking business. Like if you want to be a stay-home fucking dad, like that's your fucking business. And then what people don't realize is that like it's not anybody's business until you put it on like display on social media. Now everybody could take this idea and critique it versus you just living your fucking life out as this fucking thing. And then like nobody knows how to fucking just do that anymore. So like that's why I kind of like bring that up. And the Sigma Male thing is kind of like it's kind of that, like it's just projection of how people feel when if you just do your own thing, no one can or will say anything because they're not in a position to fucking say it. But the more you exploit yourself, the more people will have to fucking say. And then like that, and then exploitation is good or bad depending on what you want to like make out of that. And then like with social media, it's hard to exploit certain things and bring certain ideas across without it becoming muddied or fucking just a debate or fucking anything. Because like look at, like, once again, let's go back to the Sigma Mill shit. Like the Sigma Mill shit has gone through the internet so fucking far to the point where like the idea of it is just to fucking just shit on women. Because even before, when I used to like sit on YouTube and I would be scrolling through like clips, like before like just kind of like how I was oblivious to the OnlyFans and the fucking premium Snapchat shit. Like I wasn't like when it comes to internet shit, I'm not keen about it until like it pops up enough, and then I mention it to like a friend in person, and then they're just like, oh, like it's just this fucking stupid thing that somebody started. I'm just like, another stupid thing somebody started on the internet. Got it. That's what it is. So before I knew what any of this alpha, beta, delta, fucking all this stupid shit, like I had used to scroll through my YouTube, and then YouTube started doing like shorts, like started doing the YouTube short shit. So like there was this video where I forgot what the fucking podcast was, but like I'm pretty sure if I mention it, everybody knows what I'm talking about. But it's basically like two dudes, and they get like they target a particular type of like not but particular, because they have multiple women on their show, but they go out and they set up their podcast to where they get these certain type of women. Like these women that they're getting are obviously not gonna have like the best ideas or the best outlook, so they purposely target these women and bring them to the podcast and just fucking just shit on them the entire fucking way. And then like and then when I was first introduced to this shit, because I never watched it, like even up to today, like I never watched the full thing, like because the clips were enough. Like there were fucking like the clips that I was seeing were just annoying the fuck enough, because it was just like like it's like a bully targeting somebody that they know there's not gonna put up a good fight, or like a fucking smart person that's gonna debate somebody that they know they could just out talk and just bring up like random facts and just run around circles with. So they bring these women in here into their studio or whatever, and they just fucking just like tear them down. Like, yeah, they're not they don't sound like the brightest women, but you obviously picked the easy fight for your views, and for your content. So they're asking women like, what's the value of men? You could tell like these women, they don't like, they obviously have different values. Like they value, I guess you could say, the here and now, quick and easy shit. Like they're the type of women that are like are in the moment. Like I can't classify them as prostitutes or hookers because I really don't know. So with these women, like I don't know if they're just Instagram models or just fucking just chicks that are just like really dingy and just fun to hang out with, or whatever the case is. They got these women on here and they're asking them like questions like what the value of the man is, like what's the value of a relationship, what's important in a relationship, and blah blah blah. And all their fucking answers that don't fit into their quota, they just turn that around and start shitting on them, just like, look, see, this is why men can't trust women, and men and women and blah blah blah, just don't do this and that. And it's just like you literally took a type of person, just dismantle them. Versus if you had a woman that was in a relationship, like bring on a couple, like talk to a couple about that. You're just talking to like just straight women that are young, that really don't know what they want, that have no structure, and you know they don't. And then that's that's your targeted guest. And it's just like you can't like, that's what I'm talking. That's why I say statistics are bullshit, because you can't measure women off of that one fucking thing, because like just like for men, like it's deeper than that. Because how would it play out if women just assume that every dude, based off of what they see on social media, every dude was just a straight fucking creep? Like in clubs you'll get no fucking play. On dates, like you could never fucking just get to know a girl on your own, because she's gonna bring her fucking friend because she's fucking scared shitless and blah blah blah. And the only thing I'll say that still stands on social media and reality, like no one who comes up to you with their fucking camera out deserves a time of fucking day. Like, because if somebody comes up to you with their camera out and they're being fucking stupid, and you know they're about to be fucking stupid, you have every right to be fucking like prejudiced against those guys. But like, you can't just like hear one person who's saying something really passionate and it sounds like they're making an outstanding fucking point because of the way they sound, and just hold that as a statistic to hold against people because you don't like them, or they didn't treat you well, or it just fits into your bill of Haiti shit. And I don't mean the country Haiti. I sort of made up a word, hateful Haiti. Some Haiti shit out there. Um, we have to. I don't know. Like I'm not like mentioning this to say, oh, we need to find a solution for it. Like no. Like I just wonder, like, how is it that we could send so many messages on social media, so many things trend, and it's always the shit that people want to be fucking mad about that's always fucking trending. That's always the talk of the fucking town. And it's just like, don't we have better things to aspire for? Like, can we not bring certain things, like, because like I was saying, like what's stopping those guys with that platform, with those views and followers, from getting a woman who's in a relationship, bringing her man into the studio and having those conversations, versus you just getting a bunch of fucking bimbos and sitting in a circle and then turning that into a reel, into a TikTok or whatever, and then sending not only satisfying a particular community with this message, but it's a false message. It's a false message because, like I said, everything is deeper than that. Like, everything has its like kink. Everything has its fucking, it's straight and narrow, and then like you have to like kind of like figure that on your own. Like, people got to figure that out. But for sure, one thing's for sure that I would like to fucking like have stop is fucking people fucking harassing people, because that's generally what it is. Like, you're literally following somebody around with a fucking camera, harassing them, and then turning that into fucking content, and then, you know, going back into it. That's part of the reason why I'm just like, fuck the internet, because like silly shit like that is content now. Like above all the cringy silly shit, like that's part of the fucking content. And it's just like that prank shit, all that shit. That shit's I don't know. Some of that shit I look at, I'm like, yeah, I'll totally take that fucking disrespectful. And then like you hear stories about guys getting fucking like hurt and shot behind fucking pranks and stuff like that. And it's just like, what do you fucking expect? Like it's just like, oh, you're a fucking white dude and you're gonna wear something fucking expensive and have money hanging out your fucking pocket and you're gonna go walk through the worst part of fucking LA where a nigga will tell you not to go to that part of LA where motherfuckers don't even go themselves. Like, are you fucking like are you like what do you I don't get it. And the more you think about it, it's just like the more you don't get. There's parts of San Bernardino like that's the thing. Like this parts of San Bernardino, like I know San Bernardino. This is my city. Been here. I could walk on the streets I walk on, but I know for a fact the streets I just don't fucking go. You know why? Cause I could probably fucking die. Am I worried about conflict? No. Conflict is a universal thing. You can go to the store and find conflict. You go to the mall and find conflict. You could go anywhere and find conflict. But I'm not gonna fucking sit here and convince myself that hanging out on Sierra near baseline is a good fucking idea at any point of the fucking day. Like there's parts in certain cities, like I just hate the way they try to like make certain cities sound like inner cities. Like you just can't go through that fucking city because there are cities you really just can't go through. And then like LA is one of the cities where like you gotta know where you're going when you go there. Like LA is one of those real cities where like you gotta know where the fuck you're going and then only go to that fucking spot. Don't try to fucking explore, go on adventures. You have whatever part of LA that is okay for you to go there, be there, and then just get the fuck out. But like just in common sense, like you just don't take yourself around places that you are gonna be harmful to you. Like I'm not gonna like sit here and like try to like convince the world on the internet like, oh, I could do this and nothing's gonna happen, or do this and something does happen. Now it's like this super moronic fucking topic that's like now is bleeding into politics, and now it's just like, oh, that's what happens when you live low income. And it's just everything on social media just sounds like an excuse to fucking throw shade or something. And there's always people who ain't shit. Like the guys who sitting there trying to convince you that all women are evil and you don't need to be having sex with them because they'll bring you down that Sigma Alpha shit. Like it's because they don't get fucking laid. And then just like we could talk about like with women in this shit. Like a lot of the times where you see women go on tirades about how men treat them and blah blah blah. Like it's just like for the Sigmas, just like for women, it's fucking self inflicted. Don't drown everybody in your misery. Don't get everybody on this fucking oh fuck man niggas ain't shit and blah blah blah. And it's probably you the whole fucking time. It's probably something that you're fucking doing that you can't keep a fucking man or you can't keep a fucking girl. Like like it's just silly to me that like people just want to build their tyrannical fucking empires on social media. It's like you have this fucking platform where you can put out any fucking message you want to, and I get it. Yeah, sometimes the greater messages that have good meaning to it and are very fulfilling and enlightening don't get past the algorithm. But fuck the algorithm. Like talk about something that you're gonna be talking. Like don't talk about something just because you know that everybody's gonna start fucking talking about this. Like don't post something because you know everybody's just gonna hop on this because you don't know that you're contributing to like was making a lot of things a mess, especially if it's falsified information, especially when it's not valid information, or if it's only valid towards a community, or if it's just nothing that holds like substance into any sort of reality. Just like I don't know if anybody remembers, but back in 2014, 15, 13, I think I discovered it. It was the social media platform that kind of like, because at first I didn't like it. I didn't like it because like with anything, I don't like when something tells me I have to use something. Like you lose me at that. So when I had Google, excuse me. So when I had Google back in 2014, 15, I still do. Or yeah, so Gmail, not Google, but Gmail. I was using Gmail, and then they started to push Google Plus, and I had no interest in it at all. Like I just didn't. It just didn't appeal to me. Like I was just like, what is this? Like, oh, just another thing on social media and blah blah blah. And it started to grow. But then I started to utilize it because I saw how pseudo it was, to where like there was no algorithm. Like you could literally post a video or a fucking picture or a thought, and everybody could fucking see it all the time, and it just went fucking crazy, which is why I thought which is why I not thought, but I assumed that they ended it because they wanted to fucking add the algorithms so people could fucking start buying ads, so people could start buying views and shit like that. And what was cool about it was that anything like, cuz like everything went directly, cuz since cuz I don't know if everybody remembers, but you could use any email to make a YouTube back then. But when Google bought YouTube, now everything was just like, if you wanted YouTube, you needed to make a Gmail account or a Google account or, whatever have you. So when during that time, I was enjoying it, but then there was a lot of openly like racist forum that believed in just take a racist mind and how they think about the government, and that's literally what it was. And I'll always get into these like how I was telling you guys back then, where like I would get bored or whatever, and just I know something's not gonna go anywhere, and people are gonna believe what they believe, but I would just get into these squabbles anyway. Those are the type of squabbles I'll get into. It wasn't like, oh, I would just like post something on my personal page and attract flies to come like bat off. No, it's just like if I saw like a really off-putting fucking comment and it has a shitload of likes, I go after everybody. Like I'm going after everybody under that fucking thread. Like the scene on fucking what's that movie? Scarface. Oh, you want to fuck with me? Huh? 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 Then come to fucking get it. It was one of those things. That's how I fucking went in on those comments, and I just realized like from that age and up, I just realized what racism actually was. And and that's how I kind of view, the other shit on there, and I was talking about with the Sigma and Beta and women hating men and blah blah blah. It was not only just projected hate, but it also it does something for their ego, because it was this one guy that was arguing with me, and I was just kind of like debating him. It wasn't an argument at first. It was kind of like just debating him, and he kept bringing up like the one of the things he brought up was because he was being extremely like fucking just openly fucking racist, dude. And he was bringing up like, oh, if basically like if black people contributed to America, blah blah blah, the only thing they contribute to most is the crime. And it got so fucking deep where I even looked up the FBI fucking statistics for fucking crime and the races that fucking committed those crimes in America. And astonishing, you could probably look this up now, but it's 34%, like the people who commit the fucking most crime in America is 34% white. No, it's 34% black, 32% white, and the rest of the numbers are made up by like in third place is Hispanic, and then fourth and fifth is like other races, island, Pacific, and just the other races. So the main ones are on top of the list are black, white, and Hispanic. So I was telling the guy like basically like, all right, let's take that. So I looked at the statistic, And I was like, all right, so let's look at this chart. Now let's take actual, like, what do you call those? Now let's take actual numbers and add it to the equation of how many black people in America are often convicted of crimes that they didn't do, or even given time for shit that they didn't even, that they had no part of, just because they were in the wrong place, wrong time. So if you take that number, it's either white people are more of the crime doers, being the quote unquote majority, and then it's black people that are second place. If you added that equation of, if you factored out all the black people that were wrongly convicted and have been in jail for either complete for complete, like being completely, like falsely, completely falsely convicted, and then for minor crimes that they're serving a lot of fucking time for. So if you add those factors in, then white people are winning at this crime thing. And then I made that point, and then he was just like, oh yeah, you probably feel this way because you work low income and blah blah. I was like, no, I was working at the time. I had my career. I was a technician. I was like, no, it's not that. Like, I make plenty of money. Is this like, there's right and then there's fucking wrong. There's truth and there's fucking lies, and there's facts, and then there's what you believe to be fact. So we were just going back and forth, to the point where he was just like, you know what, you're just an N-word, you're just a nigger. And it was just like, oh, so that's what it is. So it doesn't matter what I am. It doesn't matter if I'm successful. It doesn't matter if I make the money I said I make. It doesn't matter if I do the things I said I could fucking do and I could accomplish all these things. You weaponize that word to just make me feel, like, not feel less, but just to make me seem less in your presence. Like that, like that's what I figured out. That's what the N-word did for people. Like a non-black person calling somebody a nigger is for their ego. They're boosting themselves because they think that word strips you from everything that you've accomplished or you've ever did. Because that's exactly what, like, if you go back to that word, that's exactly what it was. It was a word that stripped you of your identity, that stripped you of your quality, that stripped you of your value, that stripped you of who you are as a person. And then that's how that word is weaponized. And, you know, I can't say if it's good or bad for people who use it. I use it a couple of times, like, just like saying it, or just like whatever the case is. And then that's why I say fool a lot. And speaking on the podcast, I try to keep it professional. But it's just like, for certain contexts, like, it just works. And then being a nigga, I'm just taking advantage, and I'm just saying nigga because nobody else can say it, or people can say it, but they just get a little bit more in trouble for saying it, and I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying it, so I'm gonna use my my race card, my birthright, to utilize that freedom. So either or, like, this whole my social media thing, when I was like talking about how people could just build their own empires, their own thoughts, and their own personas. It's like The Sims. Like, they could just create a motherfucker for themselves, and like shit like that is the reason why I just stopped taking it like serious for a long time. Well, I stopped talking about fucking politics. I stopped going back and forth with people because it's all redundant, and it's all coming from a sad place. And then when you go back and forth with people and you argue, like, they're taking you to that sad place. They want company. They want somebody, and then that's where that shit comes from. Oh, you mad, bro? Oh, you mad, bro? Like, is that your goal? Like, I thought we were just having a conversation or just having this thing, but your goal is to make me mad. And then you saying that, like I be on the other side of my fucking phone dying because of the logic, and then just because how far these people will fucking go just to talk shit, and how rough they're getting. And I know for a fact in the back of my mind, like, you would, like, nobody's gonna fucking talk to me like this in fucking person. Like, nobody's gonna talk to anybody like that how they fucking talk on social media in person. Like that's why that should be having me fucking dead. Like I'll be fucking sitting there just reading as they're typing, and I'm just telling myself there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. So when people that fucking do that, that's what they're hoping for. They're trying to fucking like that's why Hy-Vee, like if you're the type of person I am that thought like fucking debating on the internet was innocent up to a fucking point, like you'll notice that people will literally just fucking bring something up just to fucking make you mad, call you a fucking name, belittle you or anything just so you could fucking get on. Cause like alright, so getting to this, I want to say, so a lot of people, this was like before I got off of Facebook, when I last had a Facebook, everybody had the stigma that basically the usage of drugs is linked to depression. And that's semi true. A lot of people try to escape the reality because they're depressed. Some people are just like me. I'm just too fucking curious for my own good. Like I'll put myself on blast here a little bit. During COVID and when jobs were hard to find and nobody could go outside and shit, I binged the fuck out of LSD and mushrooms and fucking hitting DMT pens. Like they put that shit in the pen, son. Like that shit blew my fucking mind, literally. And not a lot of those things were linked to my depression because I've always found different outlets. Like whenever I'm down, I train, I fight, or I draw, or I just fucking play a series of fucking video games when I'm like not feeling myself. So I was really just like everything just was like so fucking like you're in the house all day, it's fucking, then around that time it was like fucking raining nonstop. And then like I'm just fucking sitting there, I'm just like just trying to escape reality, like not on some like depression, but just try to like cause I don't like the idea of like I like when I'm really fucking angry and I'm really mad, I can't smoke weed because like it just emphasizes whatever thoughts I'm having. So like when I'm like sad, mad or whatever, I try to avoid drugs. Like I just kind of like sit to myself and sober up and like try to like fucking realize without the high like everything's gonna be cool. So I was more or less just trying to fucking just escape like the mundane fucking scene of reality. Like I wasn't trying to get away from my son or his mother at the time because we were together. It wasn't none of that. It was just like more or less just like I was just trying to get away from like just myself, just I just wanted to see a fucking different world. Like I just feel like when you're sitting there, like you feel like you watched every video, you've seen every fucking like movie, you've done literally like everything you could fucking do. And that's around the time where I started doing like martial arts and started that's exactly not around, but that's exactly around the time that, or exactly in the time that I started doing street beefs and all that. And that's another episode I'm gonna hold that off on. And I had basically just try to like get a broader idea, better mind. And then when I sobered up, everything was just like everything was cool. Like I didn't like chase it, but it was like one of the things where like I binged it because when I was high off the shrooms and off the LSD for 8 hours, 12 hours, it was like the fucking best time of my fucking life. I'm not even gonna hold you on that. Like I had so much fun on that shit. And then what I fucking realized is that people stop everything at fucking drugs. Is like depression. Like you don't think that people like start fights on social media because they're depressed. You don't think people like go out and start these fucking boycotting, cancel culture over pseudo stupid shit that basically like canceling a fucking pedo isn't like canceling somebody because of something they fucking said. Like if it's something like if it's for a fucking movie, or if it's for a fucking something they said in a movie or something they said in an interview, like that's just something that like I look at shit like that. Like if somebody says something I don't fucking like or do something I don't fucking like, it's not my fucking business. I don't fucking care. I just ignore it. If somebody did something I don't like, I ignore them and stay away from them. Just don't buy their shit. But for some reason, we feel the need to fucking like, no, fuck that. They gotta go. Like the chick who did all the Harry Potter books because everybody's mad at her because she said that there's two genders. That's just not exactly what she said, but that's like in the pocket of pretty much what she was like talking about. And it's just like, is that not all that shit not linked to some type of petty, angry, nasty fucking expression of somebody's fucking depression where they have to fucking drag everything fucking down? Because like I was saying, like like everything's a lot deeper than what it is. Like for like a future episode, like I do want to talk about relationships and stuff like that, only because I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm no fucking relationship guru. Like the longest relationship I had was 10, almost 11 years. And the thing is, there's like I said, there's more layers and more things to these things we're looking at. So like with this depression thing, like it's not always just a fine line between that and drugs. Like I was alluding to, like you got people who like to argue, you got people who like pleasures, who get pleasures out of arguing, out of making people feel bad, who get pleasures out of the same type of pleasure that another person would get out of sex. Like all these things are, just like linked to, they could be in the same pocket, but they're not linked. Like there's no direct connection to that, because like I said, I could like sit here and say like, yeah, I get depressed or whatever, but my first go-to isn't drugs. Maybe it's the pleasuring part, maybe it's the sex part, but most definitely like it's not linked to drugs. And then like somebody would argue that with you and take you down, and then it's just like, and it's just like, how do you boldly argue about something when there's so many variables to what we're talking about, to the topic at hand? So that was like the nature of social media in general, and it was just, it gets draining. Like something that you just thought was fun, see one of your crushes post a fucking super hot pic, like just see somebody post some funny shit, and then the funny shit stop being funny, and then it's just like after they spiked my Instagram and tried to do all that shit, I just took it as a sign like maybe I should back off. But like I said, I keep making the mistake of opening my professional page and going through it and mindlessly piloting my eyes through all this stupid shit, and it's all whatever. Like I said, the internet's a fun place if you find what you're looking for, but definitely like social media has ran its course with me. Like I just can't stand every time I feel like I'm just fucking, there's always something. And then like I said, like with the shadow banning thing, that's fucking stupid. Like because like let's say like some dude at Google is tied in with the whole Epstein, Weinstein, fucking all those fucking like Hollywood creepos and corporate fucking creepos. Let's say they fucking tied in with them. Like what I had done to me a couple of times, even on YouTube, is where like there was a video, and I went to go mention, I forgot what the video was, but it was some dude. It was an interview, and they were talking about like Hollywood fucking creepers and shit. It was when that shit was going like super viral, and I had left a comment and was like, oh, like everybody's like tripping off of this, like we're not gonna fucking like, because that's what it was. That's what I was saying, because I was talking about how this fucking professor at Irvine, yes, a fucking professor at Irvine, a female professor at Irvine, was the one that is she's a psychiatrist, and she's always the one that goes out and help these fucking Hollywood weirdos get out of all their shit. And her fucking go-to is distorted memories. And what she does is she goes into court and she basically claims that those things, like whatever they were being held in court for, whether they're fucking touching fucking employees or touching children, they literally fucking lay out how this my like basically my defendant could have done this, but his memory basically says he didn't do this, and they get off on that distorted memory. Look it up. I forgot the lady's name. Her first name is Elizabeth, I believe. I forgot her last name, but yeah, look her up. Look up her cases. Look up how they unfold, and cause she actually represented what's that woman's name? Ghislaine Maxwell. That fucking evil motherfucker. Yeah, she represented her the very last case that they ruled out or whatever, and I don't know, like they said, they didn't really broadcast that court case like they did the Johnny Depp one, which I just thought it was hilarious, but we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, it's just so fucking weird. Like in that video where I found out about that lady from that one, Elizabeth, who's a professor at Irvine University. When I was trying to type, like, basically, like, putting the word Weinstein and rape or Weinstein and anything negative gets fucking, like it gets, like, flagged. Like, you can't post this. I could post nigga, I could call somebody a bitch, I could call somebody a cunt, but a combination of words with Weinstein or anything of that nature was flagged. And then like that's why I already knew like this whole social media internet shit, it's a fucking game. Like there's no real freedom of speech. It's only free if you're talking about the shit that's fucking trending. It's only free speech if you're talking about the shit within their guidelines. So it's just like, for like it was just always so fucking weird just watching unfold, because like as an American you would think like this would be a no-go, like you're getting spied on, and then that was like the biggest fucking like thing that Americans were like super stuck on, like being spied on, having their privacy, and then freedom of speech. And then like it's just crazy to me, like you could go on social media and freely speak on your fucking racist belief, your religious belief, but fucking say anything outside of whatever's in the atmosphere at the time. So if it's like LGBTQ shit, like it's gonna fucking, or TQ, excuse me, is gonna, like, you say anything about that is gonna be in the guideline, and then you're gonna get flagged for that. And if you make jokes about it or say anything towards that community or towards that nature of topic in a negative way, you have, I don't know if it's still AI, if it's both the combination of AIs or actual like people behind a desk, but they're checking all that shit. And then you're slowly getting shadow banned and you don't even fucking know it. And that was my whole thing with social media, like between like the nature of it, the company it brings, like I'm a very, very like, I rather like a lot of the things that I want to be a part of, I'd rather be a part of it in person. And social media is very, very good if you have a talent and if you have a business and you're trying to make it known. Like that's essentially what it is for me anymore. Like as far as like socializing and trying to mingle and try to do shit, like it's just dead. And then especially like the way people act on there, like I said, this is just me personally fucking, this is the last little part, my personal little fucking rant or whatever. It's just like the way like social media is for me is just like, I just find it redundant. Like I could have like 500 friends, and out of those fucking 500 friends, probably like one of them actually fucking talk to me. Sometimes fucking none of them. And then that's why I'm just like, why do I have this? And then I never got, like I said at the beginning, like I never got the concept, if I said it, I don't know if I said it or not, but if I said this, I'm mentioning it again, where I never got the concept where people could say, oh, like I miss you, or I haven't heard from you in a while. And after they just got done sending you like 1,000 fucking reels or videos, and then when you're trying to have a conversation between that, they just decided to ignore that part and kept sending you fucking videos. Or we have somebody that's fucking like proactively ignoring you but posting, And then like that's just, and then when I recognize that shit with my fucking family members, not even with friends, like everybody has their own fucking life and blah blah blah. But when it came to like certain family members, where I will write them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so busy and blah 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 and this and that," and then like you go and they're just fucking just miles of threads and comments on somebody's fucking post that they're just fucking just entertaining, hanging out. So when I see that, I'd look at that like fuck it. Like I guess we got nothing to talk about. So that's why like I don't let people hold it against me when they're like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you for a long time," or "You don't talk to me no more." It's like because like guarantee you, like anybody who listens to this that know me, I guarantee you if you're listening to this and I don't talk to you, it's basically because you don't fucking talk to me. Period. Like if I don't reach out to you, I guarantee you, if you go back and try to find the conversations, even for the accounts that don't exist anymore, and you go back and look, I guarantee you it was me hitting you up more than you were hitting me up, and then you fucking leaving me on red more than I was leaving you on red. But it just seems like on social media everybody's fucking holier than thou. When you, like I said, people don't like what they do to people to be done to them. And a lot of people have that fuck. I just feel like everybody just has that like, oh, like I'll hit you up when I feel like it, and then talk to me when I hit you up. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. And then, like I said, like the type of person I am when I get mad or depressed, or even when I'm happy, I like being by myself. Like I love, like I bathe in my solitude, and I love bathing in my solitude because it just gives me a lot more time to like reflect and think. And that's why I'm doing this podcast thing now because, um I started to go back to school, and I stopped doing that only because not because of this podcast thing or school was hard or whatever. It was more or less like I told myself like I could go back into my field and make double the fucking money that I'm going to make sitting here for 4 years studying to make that money. So because I just kind of like just took the time to like kind of sit down and let the air clear, it was easy for me to process some things. And then that's what I think a lot of people have to do. Like you can't, like, how do you have a moment to yourself if you're always on social media? Like if you're always online on social media and you're always on social media, posting on social media, being on social media, like do you ever like unplug or like relieve yourself to give yourself like a train of thought? Because sometimes I just feel like between the things I were doing on my own time and social media and going to work and going to school and doing all these things, I just felt like I was keeping up with too much. But then like when you just really like it's a weird feeling like when you lose your social media, or I don't know how it is for other people, but I feel relieved. Like when I lost my Instagram last time, I just felt like super relieved because I didn't feel like the like not a burden, but just feel like it was just like, oh, like you can live without this. Like you can live without this, and I've gone without it for a long time in different points of time, and it's just like it's not a big deal. And then like I don't know, I like people act like they just need this thing to stay relevant, and it's just like fuck being relevant. Like I think I mentioned it before, but that fame shit, like it's irrelevant. Like being relevant is irrelevant. Like who the fuck cares who you are? Like who the fuck cares who I am? Like me doing this podcast thing, I'm doing this because this is something I've been wanting to do before the music. I just didn't know how to go about it. And then on top of that, the the market for this shit is so saturated. Everybody's fucking doing it. So like before I even before I hooked up my mic and started doing this shit, it was more or less like what could I do to bring to the table that's gonna like make this viewable and make it stand out and make it do all these things, and can I do it around these fucking weird ass shadow bans? Can I post this on YouTube without it being like weirdly monetized because I mentioned some things? Like can I extract this information, not extract, but can I put out this information without like it being like a big fucking deal? And like I shouldn't be worried about thinking about things like that. I should be able to just do it, and I'm doing it, and I'm just seeing like where it goes. And then like right now, like it's just the technique is to figure out how to like talk for an hour, which is becoming more of a challenge without sounding like off topic or just ranting and stuff like that. But like for the people who stuck with me for this hour, like shit, more power to you. I appreciate you for listening in. Hitting the hour mark now, getting really, really close to it. So I'm gonna just wrap it up there so I don't, dissolve it into mindless fucking rants and any sort of like thing like that. And you've made it all the way through. So